exactly what you want. Came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we live, you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Welcome back. Welcome us back. Episode 136 of the Yerrr Sports Show. I am your host, Big Baby, a.k.a. the soul of R&B. And at the bottom of the pyramid, we have BK Matt, who still is praising a light-skinned Jesus, which we don't know why, but
he left the playoffs like a month ago. I don't even get it, but
we don't let the facts get in between the good story. I mean, I get it.
But sometimes we should.
It's not even his fault. It wasn't his fault. They got kicked out of the playoffs. It's Jordan Poole. He needs to go. But we're going to talk about it another time. Jordan Poole
Green needs to go too.
Draymond Green don't need to go. He don't need to go at all. He don't need to go. Yeah, Jordan Poole needs to go. He needs to go.
The best part about Draymond Green is his kids.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, why do you say that?
You don't respond to it.
Why?
And at the top right of the pyramid, we have the ruler of the Yerrr Sports Show, the queen, the undisputed queen, Queen Tay.
I did not sound.
What's good, everybody? How you doing?
What's good? It's been a while, y'all. It has definitely been a while. Pete should be here shortly. You know, teachers just.
And you know what's so crazy? We started over, and his ass still not here.
Right, you're not starting over again.
I rushed. And I have things to do today.
Listen, I jumped right in the Uber from work.
But unlike my comrades on the Yerrr Sports Show, I always show up. So Matt, can you please get into where we've been?
Damn.
Just gonna take shots. That's what we do. Okay.
I know I pow. So let's.
We're not starting the show over again. Take that stupid ass shirt off. I'm mad you even wore that shit. What's wrong with you? You're gonna be late and then you're gonna wear a Bronx t-shirt.
I mean, yeah. I'm from the Bronx. I live in the Bronx.
Why say that out loud?
Because I'm proud of it. The same reason why you proud of being from Brooklyn. You say it even though people bag on Brooklyn all day. I'm a rep for my set all the time.
We don't do that here.
Yeah. We don't do that Bronx stuff here. Sorry.
She got to relax.
Exactly. I got shit to do, and I made the time. So, Matt, can you please honor? Well, Dre, welcome, Pete Rosado. Tell me why you get me and your just MVP. Shut your ass up, Matt. Where we been, Matt? Where we been, Dre? Where we been, Pete?
Hiatus because you know we got personal shit that happens to us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I take full blame.
No, I wouldn't say that to you.
No. Look, I take full blame. I was going through some shit. One of these days, I will go in depth. Well, not really.
No, you will not. No, you will not.
No. It's okay. She could be out here living like a
No, you will not.
We're not going there. We said this. We're not doing it.
I'm gonna relax. Go ahead,
okay. So the reason why we've been on hiatus, right? Dre decided his job was more important than the podcast. Pete decided that his girlfriend was more important than the podcast. And Matt was being Carl Thomas in these streets. So I was always on time and I always showed up. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to the show, just know that I was always ready to record. They are lucky that I love them and they're my brothers because I'm not doing business with these motherfuckers ever again.
I feel like I just got hit by the Bronx city bus, which means it's nothing but
the BX12. Beep, beep. Who got the keys to the Jeep?
Nothing but rat poison.
I mean, there was a lot. I mean, and Tay kind of like put it together in like one.
I summarized it in 15 seconds.
It was. Listen,
Dre said that he only want to record for an hour and a half, so we're not gonna sit here for 45 minutes talk about our feelings.
No, Matt, but it is more. It is
he's
more.
Better now. He's all right.
You it is. I think it is.
Why does he keep like what?
Well, we are back.
As you can see, Matt did his bad bitch move. Every time a bad bitch go through bad things, they cut their hair.
Wow.
And they start a renaissance.
I couldn't even
I'm
argue.
here for it.
I can't even argue with it. I'm outside.
I'm here for it.
I'm outside. It is curly.
You know, he has it. This is all 2023, 2024 is Matt's bad bitch renaissance year.
I'm on his Chanel Monet all 2023.
Yeah, you know, anytime a girl goes through a breakup or they go through something, they cut their hair.
Yo, all praise Nia Long, by the way. All praise to Nia Long for what she said to Chanel
They cut their hair
Monet.
and they dye
Thank
it.
you, Nia Long.
I'm not
Thank
done.
you.
That's a dub. That's a dub. Dub.
And then, you know, Dre went off and became, you know, the freaking leader of the airline industry. And then freaking, you know, Pete decided that he wanted to be Romeo Santos. And then freaking, you know, and yes.
A little bit more bad money than Romeo.
Imagine.
I
Right
couldn't listen to Bad Bunny for at least 4 months.
Imagine.
Gotta have the right
like
island. I can't be hopping islands like that.
I like Bad Bunny. He makes good music. I couldn't listen to his music for at least 4 or 5 months.
Bad Bunny's incredible. Like all up to Bad Bunny, everything that he's done this year, and the year isn't even done, but what he's done over the last couple of months and what he's done this year, like that man is absolutely incredible.
You know how hard it was to not listen to Aventura? It's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for me. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't eat yellow rice and red beans. It's been rough. It's been rough. I like yellow rice.
Yeah, you lost about 55 pounds. Can we shout out Matt for losing all that weight?
Mad weight.
Yeah.
So you was starting to look like a Southern uncle boy.
Shout out to my guy Tyree Taylor. Prolific. But
I forgot to take
yeah,
my
Tay summed it up. Tay summed it up perfectly. Not even gonna lie.
I don't think I was called Thomas though.
Listen, instead of Matt taking the blame again.
Yeah, I don't like you just taking the blame because it wasn't just on you.
It wasn't on you, and I also said and if we're gonna be for real, I'm the one who said, hey, maybe we should.
And then nobody asked Dre's ass to just make the decision without consulting with the rest of them. He just made an administrative decision. Yes, I was going to get on here every week and just give you our content, but I figured nobody wants to see that. So
Tavius Tea Time would have been the highest rated show ever.
He's out here on some Desert Eagle.
Tavius Tea Time definitely would have just taken over the network.
Yeah. Would have been the highest rated show ever.
Well, they love Tavius Tea Time.
Tavius Tea Time would have been like what putting George Jefferson as a side character in what was a nationwide hit in All in the Family. And then it was like, no, this man's so good, he needs to have his own show. And that's how we got the Jeffersons.
Tavius, you guys missed out on some content. We would have talked about Aaron Rodgers. We would have talked about who's eating ass. We would have went all there.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers.
Can you talk to the people and let them know that?
It's probably the same topic.
It's all Aaron Rodgers' fault, Vin. You was on the show. Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets, and then everything went to hell.
We only really did that last episode to have Vin on there because we respect Vin so much and all the love that he's shown us. So we were in the middle of going through a lot of songs. I'm telling you, it was like that time in New Edition when they wanted to kick Bobby Brown out the group. I just wanted to kick everybody else out the group and go solo. But you know, I don't rock that way.
So you wanted to be Bobby?
You was Ralph.
I am Bobby.
You was Ralph. If you talking about
I'm the Bobby Brown of this whole thing.
So you be
just without the problematic backstory.
You cooking chicken?
Yeah, I'm problematic.
Okay, is that what you're talking
about? Guys, I'm a menace, and I know I am, and it's okay.
You're not Bobby Brown problematic, Tay.
Well, I don't smoke crack, you know, but I can be problematic.
You don't smoke crack and you don't beat on women.
I beat on women, but I don't smoke crack. I beat on women, yeah. My hands still work. But I don't, and I dance, and I'm very talented.
You gotta relax.
Man, if you're going to the store, go.
I ain't gonna hold you. That was my favorite part of the sabbatical, though. I gotta relax shit. That shit was fun. My daughter was doing that. I said that was fun doing the I gotta relax shit. Now my daughter want to do it with me. It's a wrap.
And then you know what's killing me during this whole break? Y'all motherfuckers was like coming out with these random shows and dropping these like one episode of all these extra content. I'm like, yo, y'all want to post all this extra stuff, but y'all don't want to do the show? I bet.
What show was we doing?
I don't know.
We did
That's
one Brooklyn. We did one Brooklyn BS, and then we did that little short episode when we were talking about the Angel Reese stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of that,
and then when they did to the public, when they did that, they did not ask me if I was free. They did not ask me if I wanted to join. So I really didn't have to come back.
Yes.
If anybody should take any of this stuff personal, it should have been me, because I'm busier than all three of them put together, and I still find time to come here. I am only in my house legit maybe 10 hours a week. Come here, and then I have childrens. I have childrens.
Childrens.
Okay? Childrens. Say hi, Sky.
Hi.
This is my niece.
Hey, Sky.
Hi.
You okay, honey?
But speaking of extra content,
I got a baby. I need some money.
You won't get it from here. But Queen, are we gonna get more Tavia T times?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Should I give you more Tavia's tea time, honey? Huh? Yeah? All right. Maybe.
She get a shirt.
I was watching that yesterday, actually. That's a crazy thing.
Mamiana. I was home with my kids, Mamiana.
We do have more content coming out soon. Not just a Yerrr Sports Show, but there will be more stuff coming out soon. But let's get right into it. I don't know where we start, but I know where Matt really wants to start. So I guess we will start there. Matt, the floor is yours. Tell us about your man Zion.
I'm proud of that man. Zion Williamson. What you don't shake your head, Pete.
He going out sad, baby.
How's he looking sad?
Huh?
My man is out here giving out FML.
Man, the Jamarcus Russell of the NBA.
Right now.
Honey, you can go watch TV in my room, okay? Because I'm about to say something.
Man, the Jamarcus Russell of the NBA.
I don't even get your analogy. What do you mean?
He's a bust.
Why can't she go to the store with you?
And he's going out with controversy.
It's not controversial. How's it controversial? He ain't married. Now, that would have been controversial. He out here giving FMLA penis and legit, like, making porn stars look mad emotional on social media. He is winning right now. He is winning right now. When was the last time anybody talked about Zion Williamson?
When he played a game.
Exactly.
I didn't even know who that was, to be fair.
Exactly. How long ago was that?
And I
didn't know he was still in the contract.
I still don't know who he is, but I know who Mariah Mills is.
I do too. He out. Boy,
I do as well.
He is winning.
He looks crazy. I mean, he really looks crazy in these streets. Just to be honest with you, he's looking crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get the analogy. When Zion's on the floor, he plays great. I wouldn't go that way. Exactly. Like, Zion Williamson out here living that FMLA life.
So the thing about Zion Williamson, live your life, live it however you want to live it. But the problem is, it's just when people feelings are involved, you never know what's gonna happen. Right?
Exactly.
You just never know what's gonna happen.
Why is Vince like this? He has to relax.
It's true. Listen, if anybody knows, it's me, right? And I'm gonna tell you why, right? And I'm not gonna go into full detail. Went through a situation, and all of a sudden, at some point in time, there were shots sent at me on socials. Whoa, I thought we was cool. The difference between that and Zion's situation is the fact that I wasn't out here flying people out, putting them in hotels and lying to their face while I was out here trying to make a family with somebody else.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, did he tell her that he wanted to have a family with her, or did she just get?
You know how y'all dudes do all that pillow talking nonsense.
First of all,
Stuff like that.
Dude, I'm not in that.
All that pillow talking nonsense and saying all this the sweet nothings, and you know what I'm saying, like all the G. Like I would have more respect for the situation. Honestly, feelings were involved, and he wasn't being 100% upfront with whatever his situation is. You get what I'm saying? Now he got 2 porn stars out here looking crazy.
There's 2 of them. I only know one.
Yeah, and it was, and that's the
The
thing.
baby mother is a
OnlyFans.
interesting character as well. So
Right, and then somebody else.
and I'm not here to body shame or slut shame or anything like that. That's not who I am. But
That's OnlyFans, right?
yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, he got these women looking crazy, and I feel like he got the women looking crazy because he wasn't keeping it 100.
I don't think
You know,
they
you
look
got-
crazy. I think he's winning.
Now you've got obviously the mother of his child out here, like obviously having to deal with stuff she should not have to deal with, right? Like at the end of the day, if you are going to be the mother of this man's child, you shouldn't have to be dealing with all this stuff coming out the woodwork at the end of the day.
It's embarrassing, regardless of what.
As just straight respect to the woman that's going to be the mother of your child, regardless of what she does for a living or regardless of whatever. Like at the end of the day, you should not be putting the mother of your child in the middle of this kind of controversy because you want to go out slinging insured, injured, you know what, out everywhere, but you can't get on the goddamn floor to play a minute for the New Orleans Pelicans. You
But you know
play
what's crazy
29
too?
games.
Still got paid.
He was probably fucking them all raw.
And that's the thing.
Very,
You got-
very likely.
And let me tell you something. And that's nasty. And that's not because they're OnlyFans girls or whatever. This has nothing to do. It's like you are going around
Mm-hmm.
not protecting yourself. And you don't even know if these girls are the only 2 either. They're the
Right,
only
no,
2
no, there's another
who are
one.
saying something.
There's another one that came out the woodwork last night or today talking about how Zion is a sex addict and he does this with a lot of girls. He goes around and he does this. He hits up porn stars. He hit up OnlyFans models. Like, listen, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm a classic Misty Stone man myself.
You were old as shit. He was real old as
Who the hell is Misty Stone?
some 60-year-old woman that he You gotta relax.
Continue your point, Peter. You're a classic man who like old woman porn. Go ahead.
No,
This is not nowhere near you right now. That is
but at the end of the day, like, you out here, you was out here, you know, you've got one porn star out here talking about how you've been with her raw. You was with her just a couple weeks ago, out here sharing screenshots of conversations with you, talking about how you want to fly her out to New Orleans.
He deserves it.
Right, you're gonna fly her out to New Orleans and you're gonna like have this whole life with her, which by the way, you out here impregnating somebody else, right, who's already living with you and doing all this other stuff. And then now you got other people coming out the woodwork. We don't know how far this goes.
Nasty.
Right.
I'm
We
not
don't know
saying
how
that it's
far this
not.
goes. But at
I'm
the end
not
of the
saying
day,
that it's not. But when
listen,
you
at the end of the day,
pregnant about a nigga that's making close to $195 million, how upset can you really be?
but at the end of but that's where I'm gonna get to, Matt.
I
Because
still want my respect. I don't care what you making. I still want my respect. Like if you, the thing is too, what people don't understand. It's all about an understanding. You know what I'm saying? This is what I always say to people, right? Especially people who's fucking around like that. Hold on one second. Do you want chips?
Nigga said ghetto gag.
No, but look, at the end of the day,
Jesus.
at the end of the day, this is now a kid who is 22 years old. 22.
Yo, this is balling, yo.
No,
He is-
I don't think so.
Yo, he is 22 years old. He spent 1 year in college, 1 year, got drafted in 2019. Okay. And we are now in 2023, and we have seen more of this man off the court than we have seen of this man on the court. And the question is going to become, what team is going to really invest in Zion Williamson when he has not been on the court for the better part of 2 years? For the better part of the last 2 years, he hasn't been on the court. You know damn well the New Orleans Pelicans are fed the hell up with him at this point, right? And listen, we would like to hope that the Knicks don't stay nicking like they used to do. But God seemed that the only place that would probably pick him up at this point is the goddamn Knicks, right?
No. The Brooklyn Nets.
Don't put us in there. Do not put us in there.
But this is a man. I mean, and I'm not even gonna call him a man. This is a 22-year-old kid. A 22-year-old kid who spent 1 year in college, got drafted in 2019, and in the last 4 years, okay, he was injured twice. Okay, he played 29 games last year. He's been on and off the court more than anybody. And by the way, as I was saying earlier, a third person came out, right? A third woman came out who goes by the name of Yami Taylor, who is apparently a luxury living consultant on Instagram.
I like it for her.
Went off. Okay.
That's the name of the third girl?
Yep. And she said, why didn't I get my stuff, right? My Richard Mill last summer because I didn't let you record me.
It's research.
I never gave you a threesome or never had an OnlyFans. It was on Pornhub, so I guess I was all play.
This is why people can't be monogamous.
And this is all on her Instagram,
that, right?
Everything.
You know that, right? Let me tell you why people can't be monogamous. Because they hit up these porn stars. They watch. They are oversaturated by porn, and feel like that relationships are more transactional than they are emotional. You get what I'm saying? What he's putting off to me is that he's playing all these girls and then not ready to pay the piper. Yep. Like, if you know that your shit is raggedy out in these streets, make these girls sign NDAs.
Man. Who are we talking about?
And the thing is, be real. Like, be real. Be real. Be real.
I guarantee you these girls would have let him sleep with them.
100%.
But who are we talking about that had NDAs? I remember us on here talking about somebody who had NDAs, and it was crazy.
Freaking wasn't that freaking
massage man?
Wasn't it? Is it two?
No, it wasn't.
Deshaun Watson.
It wasn't Watson. It was him. Oh, Matt.
What? I can't.
No, you can't.
You
can't. Listen, at the end of the day, Zion need to be shooting on the court, not shooting in these women, fam. Like that's like, do what you do, but be careful about it, because now you look crazy. And now if I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, I'm like, yo, you doing more playing outside than you doing on the court, bro. Like, come on. I'm paying you $200 million to mess with porn stars? No. Like,
if he's in that tax bracket, why the fuck not? He's a kid. I don't know what y'all expecting him to be. Like,
okay. Bet. We're going to talk
I'm sorry, the NBA expected him to be the face of the NBA when he got drafted.
We about to talk about
on the floor. We talking about off the court. This is personal life. We judging his personal life.
And you gonna make this man,
because we can't judge anything that he's doing on the court. So right now, he's making his off the court life as messy as could be.
This was a man that when he was drafted,
Aaron Rodgers right now.
This was a man.
He's Aaron Rodgers.
This is a man that when he was drafted, and after he played his first year and what he was doing, the NBA said that this is a man that they could look at as a future face of the NBA. I'm sorry. That means personally, you got to step right. And he ain't stepping right. And if I'm not mistaken, were him and Morant in the same draft class?
Yep.
Oh, that poor draft class.
So you've got two people in the same draft class, Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, who are both lauded as future faces of the NBA.
And they both
and this is what's happening.
And they both big bugging.
Yep.
Ja Morant more so than what's his name? Zion Williamson. I didn't even know that boy. Apologies to that man, because I didn't even know who the hell that was.
Because you barely see his big baby looking ass.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. This man is out here with $100-something million contract.
I mean, like he look like I just said he looks like a big ass Gerber baby. That's pretty much what I meant.
Because he is a big ass Gerber baby. He's young enough to be my child.
Okay. He is 22 years old. This man has his whole life ahead of him, and he is already doing everything he can to ruin it. Same goes for Ja Morant. These are two.
Ja Morant is a different fucking animal.
These are two very young men.
So, as we transition into that, because that goes into Matt's point about not judging people off the court, we can't say that for Zion and then we killing Ja right now.
I'm not killing him
because
there's a difference. I'm not killing him. He ain't do nothing illegally. He's just doing stupid
shit. Yes, he did. He's not a licensed firearm owner.
And it's illegal. It's illegal to the NBA.
That's the NBA. I'm talking about like jail. If we're talking about stuff like that, I mean, he's just fucking his morale as far as the NBA. And I think that's stupid, especially when you about to make what, $300 million.
He ain't about to make shit. They're about to suspend his ass for the year.
I think he still get paid, don't he?
I don't think so. You can get suspended without pay.
He gets suspended. They're looking at 30 games. And then what came out recently?
More than that.
What came out recently was that it was a toy gun. My problem with that,
I don't believe that.
Right. Here's my problem with that, right? If it was a toy gun, right? Why not say that at the beginning? It's not gonna. It probably would have softened the blow if we were like, "Hey, y'all."
No, it wasn't.
It was just a toy gun.
No,
blah, blah.
No, it wasn't.
No, but it makes him sound worse now. Make it sound like he's just making it crazy. He would have sounded stupid earlier anyway.
Boy could have been on live with a super soaker. Just the innuendo of everything that he's been through this year alone.
Absolutely.
That as okay, he feels like he's untouchable. He's mocking us. There's nothing he could have did differently from that other than not be on fucking live with a fucking gun. You stupid motherfucker. That's just,
you know what's crazy to me? It just shows you that people be thinking that they have friends. That's really not their friends.
I would have
fucked. If that was my people, if that was my people's for real, and I know that they have a drinking problem. I know they have addiction issues, and I know that they are this close to fumbling the bag. If I gave just a half a shit about them, I'm not going to be enabling their behavior. The problem is, this is a young kid who is troubled. Okay? Troubled.
Yep.
And people are, enabling this dangerous behavior. It's like, okay, we're talking about a second gun incident. God forbid that went off. God forbid he was drinking and driving.
Yep.
I mean, where is the accountability for his behavior? You get what I'm saying? Like, his behavior is reckless. It's not just the reputation. It's not just what the expectations of a superstar is. This is a young man who I am scared for his life. In his own undoing. You get what I'm saying? And if he had people around him that gave half a shit about him, even though you can't really make people do what they want, what you want them to do, but I feel like he has made way more enablers than friends. And if the NBA doesn't take a hard stance on his ass, he's going to be the next big tragedy in the NBA. The next big one.
I think he already is.
No, he has a chance to. He's still young. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I'm not seeing him going to rehab. I'm not seeing him go to rehab. I'm not seeing him, putting in the work. Because people always like to say, well, they're not a role model. They're not a role model. There's kids that look up to basketball players and athletes because they want to be them. You know what I'm saying? And you have a responsibility as a public figure to conduct yourself in a way that makes sense. Make it make sense. You just got busted with a gun on live.
Right.
And it was worldwide news. And then, motherfucker, less than 2 months, you gonna turn around and do it again? Make it make sense.
He came back for the remix, bro. Like
the remix. Like, make it make sense. That's my issue with the whole thing. Make it make sense. And that's my boy. And I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm not having no guns around this dude. and he can't have no guns around me.
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, y'all mentioned Victor Wembanyama, and I'm like, look, bro, it's not hard to play ball, represent the NBA, and not go on live all the fucking time. Everything got to be on live. You on mute, Trace? I don't know what you're saying, but real shit. I as much as I blame Ja, man, fuck that. I don't blame his friends. I blame Ja because you are the company that you keep. You let this shit happen to you more than one time.
It seems like he's the catalyst for this chaos.
Same dude that got you in that shit in Indiana. You just doing stupid shit because you bringing around people that don't need to be in the space that you're going. I just think loyalty, I get loyalty, but if it affects your bag, bro, we're talking about 300 mil, bro. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money you're going to lose. Over 300. I'm saying 300 mil, but I'm pretty sure it's something
over.
More.
It's over. It's closer to 5 because of Nike and Under Armour.
Bro, and
I mean, not Under Armour, Nike and Powerade.
Like, you just do bullshit.
And then it makes me wonder, like, should they be giving these young boys these big old contracts like this? Like, it makes me really wonder, like, where does it end? And then now we're talking about college students making bread now. And it's like a couple of months ago, a couple of months ago, they were asking for permission to use the bathroom in school. And then now you giving these dudes $200-300 million and expect them to not act like nincompoops. Let me get her icy, please.
Yeah. Pete,
I'm on auntie duty.
I mean, I completely agree, and this is the problem that we had in the NFL as well, right? This is why the NFL changed their contract structure with a lot of the first round draft picks. Because you were seeing first round draft picks, number 1 draft picks, and quarterbacks making $100-something million just because you were a first round draft pick before you even did anything, right? And then they were on the hook because I believe most of those contracts, a lot of it was somewhat guaranteed. And in the NBA, it's basically a fully guaranteed contract for the most part. And you're getting a lot of these young kids that are getting a lot of money and they don't have the same amount of training, right? They're not coming out with the life experience. They're not coming out with the training or the backup. They're not being surrounded by the right people and they're being put in very negative spaces. It's bad enough that there are a lot of players that are already coming from very negative socioeconomic backgrounds. It's bad enough. We have a lot of players who sometimes feel the weight of having to support their family and do well for their families and their friends and put on for the set and put on for the crew because they're making all this money and everybody kind of like sacrifice for them. But at the end of the day, the problem is that a lot of the people that are around them don't always have the best intentions at heart. And it's sad to say there's a lot of family members around them as well that will not have the best intentions at heart. And we're seeing this. We saw this with Aaron Hernandez and the people that he was around.
Aaron Hernandez was a motherfucking sociopath and a psychopath. I don't give a hot damn about the people who was around him. He was the catalyst for that chaos.
He's king of stupid. You saw the documentary? It was a good documentary. I like it.
Of course I saw the documentary. He was a sociopath with CTE.
Right. And it didn't help that he was surrounded by the type of people that he was surrounded with, right? Because even though he
created his environment.
It's like, you know what? I hate that. I get what you're saying, Pete, and I agree with you to an extent. But like at some point, let me tell you something. We learn from a young age about peer pressure and the people who we involve ourselves. It's like we wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, well, we could blame the friends or this and the third. But let me tell you something. If I see your friends, I know who you are.
You are the company that you keep.
You are the company that you keep. So just as much as they are all full of shit and all stuff like that too, that means that he's the master one that's full of shit. Because
I agree.
Because right now, you're not only fumbling the bag, you fumbling your health. That's number one.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And now this kid could have been the face of the league. And I don't think that was a fair thing to put on his shoulders as a young kid. Everybody's always looking for the next big thing, the next big this, the next big that. And then it causes some people, they could rise to chasing that dream and chasing that success. And some people can get crumbled by the weight of it. And I think that right now we have to continue to remember that these are young kids. These are still, I don't consider 22 and 23-year-old people really grown adults yet.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? I feel like those are what you consider young adults. I'm glowing.
We know why.
Whoop.
We're not going to do this right now.
No, we're not. We're not.
Doing this right now.
She lobbed that one up though. So
Shout out to Jesus. He out here doing a little.
Can I just say that I'm really jealous that Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and freaking Bill Murray, they're dating people my age range, and
Bill Murray and Khalees, that threw me.
Everybody knows. No, for some reason, I can see Bill Murray and Khalees. Bill Murray is a cool ass, old ass white dude who's cool as hell. He remind me of that cool ass white dude that you would go sit in his backyard, y'all would smoke weed and drink 1957 whiskey, and he know about all the current trends. He knows what all the art hot spots are. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that dude. I can see Khalees with Bill Murray. For some reason, it doesn't. One thing about Bill Murray, he is outside. And he has been outside for the past 40 years.
Outside?
He's outside. He's Mr. Outside. But I don't understand how. I know Robert De Niro likes black women. Like, I would have had his baby.
What the fuck is going on right now? I don't even know.
I would have.
What the fuck is going on right now?
I don't know, but
I would have had his baby.
Stop, please.
I don't know what's happening right now, and I'm scared.
I don't either. Like, is it
young? Yeah. Listen, just to bring it back and to move forward.
We talk about young people. We talk about young guys. We talk about babies, and I'm just like, you know what? Robert De Niro is about to be a father, and he's not my baby father. And I feel kind of salty about that.
You've been preaching this AARP stuff for a while, so
I could be salty about that.
No, you're right.
Robert De Niro still got an old hot man swag to me. I'm sorry. Did you hear that he's about to premiere the French Montana documentary at the Beacon Theater next couple of weeks? Like, yeah. No. French Montana's documentary was selected to be in the Tribeca Film Festival.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
Robert De Niro and I'm going to try to hedge my bets. I'm going to go.
You got to relax.
Oh, you'll definitely be. You'll definitely be there.
I never have to relax.
We just had a whole conversation about how happy you are and growing.
Why are you putting all my personal business on the podcast?
What you even saying? I just said
why are you putting my personal business out there?
I just said you was happy. Why ruin that?
I can be happy with life. I still want to date Robert De Niro. The fuck?
He's like 90.
You're like 90.
You right.
Oh. All right. So the fuck? Next. The fuck? And next week, when you see me at the Beacon Theater, I'm wearing. You'll see. He's gonna be like,
She's gonna be wearing some old ass Medea dress with flowers.
I don't even dress like that. I'm in my midlife crisis Barbie phase. Y'all don't see me. Y'all don't see me on the gram dressed like Gemma from fucking Sons of Anarchy.
I don't know what's going on.
You don't?
You gotta relax.
So y'all don't see me on Instagram with my ripped up shirts.
Vince, I don't.
With my stomach out.
I don't.
Yeah, y'all didn't see me?
With your six pack out? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping. You egging it on. Making it.
Robert De Niro hit me up, baby.
Have to help.
Hit me up. I still have a house phone and everything.
All right. Moving forward to someone who probably doesn't have a house phone soon because he getting released. Let's talk about Chris Paul. Let's talk about Chris Paul. Since we were talking about old men, let's talk about CP3, right?
It got the
Call
cord.
me Bobby.
It got the cord.
Mm-hmm.
It's for that you wrap around your hand so it's not too long.
It's for emergencies only, but I still have a house phone. I could be his old lady.
What did we do? What did we do? Like, how did this happen just now? I
They'll
don't
be sitting
Y'all
there.
was talking about babies and young guys having babies and all this
God
stuff like
damn
that.
it, you still ain't give me the name. I'm looking for the name. I can't
Of
find
what?
the name nowhere. There's a Yanni with 2 N's.
What the hell are you talking about?
The third.
I don't. He's. I can't deal with Matt, bro.
He looking at her for content for later, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. When them lights go off in the room.
Wow.
Anyway, CP3 guys. Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. And shit.
I don't like what the Phoenix Suns did to him.
How
What
so?
did they do? They just waved him.
Well, it's reported that he's going to be waived from the Phoenix Suns within the next couple of days, right? Yeah. And then for the rumor mill saying that they're looking at James Harden.
That would be stupid.
What? That didn't work before. Why do you think it's gonna work now?
So I'm thinking to myself, you don't want Chris Paul, but you want James Harden.
Only thing I can give you is that he's going to be in more games than Chris Paul was, but
I don't know about that either. Yeah,
that's true.
It depends, because do you want the ultra healthy James Harden, or who's going to show up and give you production, or do you want the mediocre James Harden who's there to not get fined?
My thing is,
are we getting comments? Because the comments are looking dry.
It's just Vince telling you.
Well, so what? I want to see the comments. Hello, Dre. Then they were going to take it to. Exactly. That's what
they were going to take Tay to the casino and give her the heat. Put a little good fella in the oven. It's not going to
be so much heat. It's going to be room temperature. But
because it can't be too hot. I got you.
Yeah, it's going to be room temperature, not the heat, though.
Why are we here right now? I'm pretty sure that is broken.
And then guess what, Vinny? I'm going to make Dre the Godfather. Oh.
I'm for it.
So y'all cool with having little fuckers is what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah. There you go.
Because he'll be my dirty grandpa.
God. I don't feel comfortable with this reboot right now. I really like.
Pete, how do you feel about the Chris Paul situation?
I'm kind of at a loss of words right now. No, I think. Listen,
find the words.
The only way
words.
The only way he's gonna take me to his house with a private taxi driver.
Listen, I think.
Just continue.
I don't want to be here right now. So I'm trying to say, like, just fix it, Jesus, fix it.
Not fix it, Jesus. Pete, find the words.
I think. Listen, it's sad to see this kind of be the situation for Chris Paul. Don't get me wrong, because we've seen this career happen.
He's just mad that it's not a Bronx Tale.
No, I mean, listen, Chris Paul has done a lot. Chris Paul has done a lot on every team he's been on.
Gonna come to the Knicks now.
I only see two things happening. I see two things happening. I either see the Knicks going after him just to say that Chris Paul finally played for the Knicks and he's on there. I honestly could see Chris Paul being a Jason Kidd-like presence for the Knicks when J. Kidd came to the Knicks.
They don't need that. They already got Derrick Rose.
Well, get rid of Derrick Rose. His knees can't play in the NBA anymore.
Bro, what you want to keep Julius Randle bum ass? I don't understand you.
Yo, Julius Randle needs to.
Julius
Randle needs to go.
Listen, so Matt and Tay, real quick, I'm just gonna say this. I don't disagree with the idea that Randle's got to go, but what I will say to that is you are not going to get the value for Randle in return to get rid of him, and that's why it actually
used to doing dumbass deals. I mean,
it actually makes
worth $20 and 2 packs of Skittles right now.
And a Metro card.
At the end of the day, put the bias and personal feelings aside. When you look at the statistics, Julius Randle was actually responsible for the Knicks being as good as they were in the regular season, more than a lot of people like to give him credit for.
pump that. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Statistically, it's true, Tay. When you look at the stats,
but you know what? It's not always the stats because sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes you could have a pretty 25 points that helps the team, and you could have an ugly 25 points and the stats will just still show you 25 points.
I agree with you.
You get what I'm saying?
You know what Randall did? You know what Randall did? There were nights when Randall would score 20, 25 points, sometimes more than that. Randall's presence on the Knicks did a lot to take defensive pressure off of guys like Jalen Brunson, off of guys like Quentin Grimes and Quickly. Because of his presence on the floor. And at the end
and then I'm going to pull my shirt up and analyze that.
And at the end of the day, yes, I agree with both of you, right? I agree with both of you. Julius Randle, like in the way that he performs a lot of times, it's not pretty. He disappears in the playoffs. He disappears in clutch moments. I 100% agree with you on that, and I'm not going to disagree on those things. But what I will say is that he does do a very good job, especially during the regular season. I can guarantee you Julius Randle's presence on that team this year easily accounted for at least 10, maybe 12 wins for the Knicks that they probably wouldn't have had simply because he gets defensive pressure off of the other players. Because you have to
are not enough.
I agree.
You can still get 10 or 12 games from Derrick Rose.
But defensively, other teams had to respect Randall's ability to score. And they gave Brunson open opportunities. Again, I don't think you're going to get
He disappeared the entire playoffs. Can I tell you right now? He's the reason why the Knicks are not playing in the NBA Finals right now. The Knicks would have
I would counter that, and Matt, I'm going to let you go right after this point.
The Knicks would have taken care of Boston, and they damn sure took care of Miami.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that, Tay, not at all. And I'm going to let Matt go right after this one point. Tay, my counter to that would be this. I don't know if the Knicks are in the playoffs if Julius Randle isn't on that team this regular season.
Go, Matt.
They're in the playoffs.
First of all, you said you can count 10 games that Julius Randle won for the Knicks. I can count at least 16 games that Julius Randle cost the Knicks. Because there were games that they were really close, and he just got aggravated. The fact that he was not doing what he was supposed to do offensively, that he let shit slip. And that's the problem with Julius Randle and his Knicks team. This Knicks team is a very defensive-orientated team. So why does he have to be hitting on all cylinders and his mid-range and his three-point shot got to be knocked down in order for him to play defense? That's the problem. That is 100% the problem. He turned into just a three-point shooting-ass player, and you're not a three-point shooter. You're a mid-range game. You got to work the post. You got to hit your little stupid ass shimmy that you do and your spin off. That's what you do because you can't go right. You can't go right. You don't drive to go right to save your life.
But that's why I got a lot of respect for Jimmy Butler, Matt, because Jimmy Butler did not give into the pressures of the NBA and try to become a three-point shooter, knowing full well his game is in the mid-range.
Him and DeMar DeRozan.
Right.
I give you that. But point blank, Julius Randle annoys me because we know how good he can be. But for somebody that has been around the league as much as you've been, you played on what? You played on the Lakers. You played with Kobe. So for you to not have the mindset of, okay, I still got to lock in to the scheme of what my team is doing, you get emotionally involved and then your whole game shut down and then you infect the rest of the fucking team. We can't have that.
The problem is the teams that would take on that, the teams that have the ability to take on that contract are not going to give you the pieces. They're not going to give you the pieces when you look at what he is on paper, right? Because what I'm trading, regardless of it, and what Tay said is 100% correct, right? But regardless of that, what you're trading is the statistical value. Right? You're trading 20 plus points a game. You're trading all of that. That's what you're trying to trade away. And at the end of the day, the teams that are going to be able to take on that contract that he has and the teams that are going to be willing to take him are not going to give you the value back that you're going to need. And the teams that could give you the value back are not going to give you the value because they're smart enough to know that Randall's not a 1. He's at best a 2 with a very good 1 on that team, right? So at the end of the day, is it better in terms of value for the Knicks to get shit for him and create a void? So now defensively, when teams are playing the Knicks, they're going to key in on Brunson. They're going to key in on quickly. They have nobody to really replace the offensive ability. Granted, does he always play to his ability? No, but the ability's there and you have to respect it, right? The same reason why
I don't gotta respect the motherfucking thing, because let me tell you why. When shit was real, I want a friend. I liken him to a friend, right? He's a fair weather friend. He's there when it's good. He got your back when it's good. But when I need him the most, he is nowhere to be found.
Oh, bitch. Sorry. He's a bitch. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, with the stats and all stuff like that, like, you know what? I'm not going to be like, I hate to just throw a player by the wayside because they do have great ability or whatever, but Julius Randle is not great.
Bro.
He's very good.
But he averaged 25 points and 10 rebounds.
It's so easy to average 25 points in this NBA right now.
And shooting 46% from the field. At the end of the day, there's not free agents out there that the Knicks are going to get now.
Let him go. It's time. Bye. Put him out. Bye. Go.
They were winning when he wasn't playing.
But who are you bringing in to fill that void?
Not him.
You
Bye.
can bring in other pieces. You don't need a second scorer. Like, they have players that are capable of scoring 25 points. You said Quentin Grimes. Come on, bro.
But you know what? Julius Randle is getting a lot of the heat for this, but RJ Barrett disappeared too.
That part.
He disappeared too. But it was easy to hide behind Randle, and I feel like if Randle didn't have the heart for it, he should have sat his ass down.
Two niggas that can't go right, can't get right, just ain't right.
It was just, let me tell you something. People were trying to shit on Jalen Brunson for that last game and stuff like that, but like he carried that Knicks on it, and I haven't seen anybody really carry the Knicks on their back in years.
Him and what's his name?
That reminds me of
Josh Hart. Josh Hart. They carried the fucking Knicks.
Yeah, that reminds me of
at the end
that
of
was
the day,
Ewing like.
At the end of the day, if you're looking at free agents coming into the season, coming into the 2023 season, and you're looking at just forwards right now, there's really not a lot out there, right? Middleton has a player option. Porzingis has a player option. I know he's wanted to come back, but I know a lot of Knicks don't want him back.
I'm good.
Hey, y'all looking for a 20-point per game scorer? There you go.
Right. Kuzma's a free agent. Dylan Brooks, right? Dario Saric.
Dylan Brooks.
Right. The guys who are out there aren't exactly, the guys that are going to fill that void right now in terms of having
Julius Randle didn't fill that void either.
But again, assume Middleton's not going anywhere and we ain't taking Draymond in New York. Are you taking Harrison Barnes? Are you taking?
You don't know that because Brook Lopez is due for a better contract than what he is. They might not.
Brook Lopez
perform this season.
You're going to take Brook Lopez over Chris Middleton.
I'm talking about Milwaukee re-signing Chris Middleton. They might give Brook Lopez that money.
Well, no, he has a player option. He's going to opt in.
Opt out of that shit. He's going to want more.
Brook is unrestricted.
Right. Middleton has the player option.
Right. So Brook is more likely to walk than Middleton.
Right. When we're talking about unrestricted free agents, honestly,
they're not going to be able to throw money at him if Middleton opts in.
Honestly, who are you going after? Listen, you could take Dylan Brooks. Kelly Oubre Jr. hasn't proven to be that great, right? You could take Harrison Barnes. You could take Yerrr Sports with 7 years out of OKC. When you look at who's out there on the small forward and power forward market, it's just the production is not out there right now. So I could see the Knicks keeping him for another year because I'll be honest with you, if I'm looking at next year's free agent market for forwards, Middleton's unrestricted. Siakam is unrestricted. Pascal Siakam, unrestricted. Jaylen Brown, unrestricted. Sabonis, unrestricted.
Boy,
right?
Giving Jaylen Brown $300 million, bro.
But I'm just saying, when you look at those names, when you look at Domantas Sabonis, Jaylen Brown, right? Pascal Siakam, just those three names, and the fact that Middleton will be an unrestricted free agent next year, just those four names alone, those would be the kinds of names that you could say, okay, they could replace a Julius Randle, right? There is nobody right now that's going to replace what Julius Randle gives you from a statistical point of view. And I say that fully agreeing with everything that you've said.
So if I'm New York, I get off of Julius Randle this summer because how many years left he has on his contract?
Well,
Randle has 3, which means it's going to be hard to trade him.
Right. No, this is the perfect time to trade him because
they'll take him with 2 or 1 expiring contracts of the 3. A 3-year contract still hard to trade. If he had 2 years left or expiring, you can get rid of him.
But if he is able to be traded,
he's a free agent on 26.
Yeah, that's 3 years. That's 3 years.
So 3 years.
2 years.
3.
We're about to go into another season. That's 2 more
years. This is the 23 season.
I guess.
If I'm the Knicks, I still try to flip Randle for some 1-year deals since we're talking about next year's free agency. Go ahead, Matt.
Buy his ass out. Fuck him.
And if I'm looking at and even the unrestricted list in 2025 looks really good. Brandon Ingram, Anunoby, Lauri Markkanen, you've got some names on the 2025 list that are really, really good as well. And that's what I think the Knicks are going to try to do. They might try to hold on to Randle knowing what he gives them right now.
Right.
Hell, unless Boston re-signs him, as much as I hate him, Jason Tatum's a free agent in 2026.
But you underestimating the fact that these people don't want to play for the damn Knicks.
I agree with that, but I'm saying
these teams don't want to deal with these teams don't want to deal with the Knicks with that shit either, because they're not going to be able to get in any trade scenario, they're not going to get back what they're trying to give up to the Knicks, like you said, to your point, right? But I feel like with Julius Randle and the Knicks, the way that they are designed right now, they are not going to go any further than where they went this time.
No, I gotta say, it says a lot about the East when you have a number 8 seed that basically is Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and a bunch of guys who are working at Wegmans in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but you know what?
Don't disrespect my team. Don't disrespect my team.
The Heat were not your traditional 8 seed, and the thing is, like I said, the only team that gave them a big challenge in the Eastern Conference was the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
the Knicks are aggressive as they are.
The Knicks beat themselves more to me than the Heat beat them. Because
they bitched RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. That's what they bitched them.
But you can easier. They're more likely. If I'm being honest, it's going to be easier. You could probably get more value, and it'd be easier to get rid of RJ Barrett than it will be to get rid of Julius Randle.
Oh, now y'all niggas want to get rid of RJ Barrett.
When I wanted to get rid of him last year. I didn't like RJ. I did not like RJ's first 2 years.
When we got Cleveland to fucking Utah, when I was saying let's get down to the Metro.
I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine with getting rid of RJ. I was fine with getting rid of RJ before. But I think right now, if the Knicks are going to flip any one of those 2 players, they're going to get a lot more value out of RJ Barrett than they are out of Julius, because a lot of teams are going to look at RJ Barrett and say, we could still fix him. There's still a lot of potential and value in RJ Barrett versus Randle. He is the player that he is. That's it. Right, and that contract's going to be harder to move.
Buy his ass out.
You're not wrong, man.
RJ played better, but they both disappeared. But let me tell you something.
They both got bitched.
I don't think RJ Barrett played the way that the Knicks expected them to play this series. The only person I feel that played their heart out was Jalen Brunson, because at the end of the day, I don't know if Julius Randle was hurt.
Fucking excuse. Fuck him. The only two that showed up was Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. That was it.
Yeah, and Jalen Brunson more so. And I feel like even with Jalen Brunson being who he was during that series, the Knicks could have won that series. They were not. Miami was not unbeatable, and I feel like what we're seeing now, they were not unbeatable. And I feel like we have a bigger issue to talk about. That's those bum ass Boston Celtics.
RJ Barrett is 22 years old. They're going to get a lot more value trading RJ Barrett.
You guys are fucking babies.
Yeah. That's the thing. You're going to get you're going to be able to trade a 22-year-old player.
They all got hurt in the series, though.
Yeah, you got a 22-year-old player that has 4 years of experience, right? 4 years of experience, is averaging 20 points a game, right? 5 rebounds. You're going to get a lot of players, a lot of teams who are going to feel like they can get a lot more out of RJ, and they can fix RJ a lot easier than they are Randall. And he's going to be on a better contract that you can trade. It's a lot more monetarily easy to move. I honestly think the Knicks might hold on to Randall simply because they're not going to get the value, and the money's not going to work out. They could get rid of RJ Barrett. And I honestly think, that could help some of their issues. Not all of it. Not all of it. I agree with you on everything that you've said. Randall in the playoffs is a black hole. He's not where he needs to be. And Randall does go missing in a lot of clutch moments. And I think a lot of it is also going to have to be the way they structure that offense, right? We know Thibodeau's got the defense fine, but they've got to have somebody on that coaching staff to help structure that offense in a way that it flows less with Randall as a number one player, and it flows more with Randall as a complementary piece that his ability can still be respected by the defense, but they're scared of leaving. They're scared of leaving Brunson, and they're scared of leaving Randall. But it has to be more in Brunson's hands.
So he can't go right. What ability? I need for y'all to explain.
Let's wrap this up.
What ability?
So Tay brought up something that we're going to talk real quick about, though. Boston. What do you do with Boston?
Blow him up, Bane style.
I'm sorry, Jason Tatum. I do not want to hear anything about Jason Tatum being a megastar or an A+ player.
I don't want to hear Jason Tatum and Kobe Bryant name ever again.
Don't do it. He was hurt. First play of the game, he got hurt.
I don't care about Game 7. He disappeared too many times in too many games in this playoffs to be a number one kind of player. If you're going to give Julius Randle the kind of smoke you're going to give Julius Randle, then you are going to give Jason Tatum the same amount of smoke, especially when Jason
expectations,
Tatum,
though. Different
that's
expectations.
The thing. Jason Tatum has higher expectations.
We are not going to compare those two.
They were talking about was I wrong? Am I wrong?
I don't know. Peter got a point here.
They were talking
about Are you fucking serious?
They were talking about, wasn't they talking about Jason Tatum being one of the front runners for MVP this year? I'm sorry, he played nowhere near an MVP level in the playoffs, and I'm not just talking about the Miami series. I'm talking about the whole playoff.
The entire playoff.
I get the whole playoff.
And Jaylen Brown could go for one too.
Hold off on the Jaylen Brown slander, because Jaylen Brown's the reason why they stayed inside them NBA Finals. Exactly. But Matt, what is your retort to? I know what you were saying, that we can't compare them in terms of star power or expectations. Star power,
talent. Julius Randle is nowhere close to the type of player Jason Tatum is.
Right.
Two different responsibilities. I get it. They treat Julius Randle like he's the number one, but we all know that motherfucker's not a number one. He's like a number 4 at best. So it's two way different expectations. Jason Tatum did not show up in the playoffs. We did not get the same Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown that we saw last year in their run to the finals. And that's obvious. But the biggest question should be, is it because of the coaching, or is it because of Jason Tatum not being what we thought he was?
It's because when Jason Tatum is cold from 3-point land, his entire offense disappears. His entire offense. Why? Because let's talk about this. Why did they go? Why did they have to go? Why did we have to get a Game 7 51-point game out of Jason Tatum against the 76ers. Why? Because in game 6, Jason Tatum shot 5 for 21, including 4 for 11 from three-point land, which means the man made one of 10 two-point field goals in that game, in game 6, scored a grand total of 19 points, which forced a game 7 in which he had to go off and score 51 points. By the way, what's the difference between game 7 and game 6? In game 7, he shot 17 to 28 from the floor, 6 of 10 to 3-point, which means he made 11 of 18 two-point shots. But now let's look at the series against the Heat. 1 for 3, 3 for 10, 1 for 7, 4 for 9, 1 for 6, 0 for 8, 1 for 4. Those are his three-point shooting numbers in that entire series. And of course, he scores 14, 31, 21, and 14 in some of those key games. Okay, the games where he shoots well, he does well. Jason Tatum, his entire game has become about shooting the long-range shot, and he is not as good as he should be, and he's definitely not as good to be posting it up. Everybody want to be Steph Curry, but not everybody can shoot like Steph Curry.
Light-skinned Jesus.
Everybody wants to play like the Golden State Warriors because they're like, oh, the Golden State Warriors changed the game. Everybody want to play like them.
And they're not designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not designed that way.
They probably want to be Jesus, but they don't want to be crucified.
But I think
what the fuck?
Right. We'll get more in depth in Boston on the next episode. I want to get to this NFL stuff, especially want to hear Tavia when we talk about. I need Tavia to say it when we talk about Aaron Rodgers. I can't say
Aaron Rodgers is going to bomb on the Jets, baby. He is outside smoking weed, go to all these Taylor Swift concerts.
Hold on, Queen. Can you say what Aaron Rodgers is called? What is he called by people? I need you to say it in the only way you can say it.
I don't know what he's called by people.
Pete, you got to say
that man, or I need you to say it your way.
Man,
you got it right.
That man, Aaron Rodgers. He is outside, baby. He was at all. Every time he went to a Knicks game, they lost.
It's not his fault. That's R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle fault. That's not. Don't blame that.
Every time he went to a Knicks game, they lost. They did what he did. They got to the second round and tanked.
Spike was there too, you know.
Spike is always there.
Spike is always there.
And shit.
But you know what I don't understand though? Why is he outside? He had all these Taylor Swift concerts. He hanging out. I've never seen around so many black people in my life.
Taylor Swift is a national treasure. Don't do that.
Yes, she is. I love her. And I'm mad that I wasn't able to go to her concert because I was overseas.
Overseas doing the Lord's work.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. That was dope.
So, you know, he's out here being outside. He's being post-pandemic poppy.
He's happy
going to all these places. But you know what? I don't. And then he's even coming to training camp.
See, he out here living his.
Bro, y'all about to lose real bad.
Y'all about to lose real bad. He acting bad. Y'all about to lose real bad. It's gonna be bad.
My man being too responsible going to training camp. So y'all about to get smoked this season.
Y'all about to get smoked like that, black and mild.
Yo, the best Aaron Rodgers is the one that don't follow the damn rules.
Yeah, coming out quarterback and our happiness right now. We ain't saying nothing about Danny Dodge and how y'all.
We said nothing about the Giants either.
Nothing to say about them.
Yeah, clearly the Giants wasn't not doing nothing for us to even speak about.
Exactly. Let us live our best life. Aaron is happy. Let him be happy. He out in these streets. He getting acclimated to the city. They showing him love. He wearing green. He getting green. We counting greens. So now we about to get W's. Ain't that right, Pete? No?
I gotta get ready and wrap this up because at the end of the day, nobody don't want to talk about no damn bootleg Aaron Rodgers.
We have the hardest. We have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL this year.
And y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it.
We have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL this year. You are already seeing
a violin.
You are already seeing every team in the NFL in the NFC East the AFC East that is trying to load up their defensive line to go after Aaron Rodgers. Even Tavia's secret love, the Buffalo Bills are trying to beef up that defensive line to go after Aaron Rodgers.
Time out. Hold on. Flag on the play. I'm gonna speak for Tavia here. We no more Bills talk. We done.
Right.
We done.
Said, Josh Allen, we coming for you, nigga. That's what's about to happen. We coming for you. We coming for that.
Listen, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be like this guy that's going to come in and go 14-3 and 13-4 and have that year. No, I don't. I would like him to. I would like him to.
You got 14-3, but you like, you know what? 12-5.
I'm letting y'all know. If we win the division, I'm buying all y'all Aaron Rodgers.
If you look at our schedule, I think we play the Bills in week 1. Okay.
The Bills are trash, but go ahead.
Okay, we've got the Bills in the first 6 games. I think we have the ability to go 3-3. Okay, because I think we lose to the Bills, we beat the Cowboys, we beat the Patriots, we lose to Kansas City, and we beat the Broncos.
They're gonna beat the Cowboys?
I think we can beat the Cowboys.
What kind of question is that?
Right.
Bills too.
I don't know.
So that's
I don't know.
Hold on, that's 3-3, right?
Guys, I gotta jump.
All right, Queen.
All right, Queen.
See you guys next time.
Yes.
I think we go 3-3. We're gonna go 3-4 because we play the Eagles in week 7. I think that's a dub. That's a loss right there.
Oh, I was about to say what?
The Giants. Well, I meant a dub, as in that's not happening. Not a W. As
in like they might beat you by 20. Yes.
Right. Then we play the Giants. I think that's a toss-up game. Honestly, I really think it's a toss-up game because I think the NFL is going to catch on to Danny Dimes, and we're going to see if he's really made that next step. So that's a toss-up. Let's say that's a victory. We're at 4-4, right? Then we go the Chargers, the Raiders, a rematch against the Bills. Let's say we get 3 wins there. Let's say we split the Bills. We're at 7-4. Okay. Let's say we split with the Dolphins. Okay, that's 8-5. Mm-hmm. We can beat the Falcons. We can beat the Texans. That's 10-5. I think we can beat the Commanders. That's 11-5. I think we can beat the Browns. That's 12-5. And let's say we split with the Patriots. Okay, so they beat us 1 game out of 2. That's at best. That's 12-6, maybe 13-5. Do I think it's possible if they play up to their ability? Yes. But can I see us losing to the Giants? Could I see us getting shocked by the Browns? Could I see the Chargers being good enough to shock us? Yes. I can see these things happening, unfortunately. And I could see, listen, could we lose? I don't think we should lose to the Cowboys, but could we lose to the Cowboys? Yes.
I don't see that.
So when you think about the schedule, do we have the potential to go 13-5, maybe 12-6? Yes. But is it possible 1 or 2 games swing that we're 10-8 and not 12-6? Yes, I do see that. So would I like to see Aaron Rodgers go off? Of course I would. Would I like to see Rodgers to Garrett Wilson? Would I love to see Breece Hall running through defenses? Would I like to see our defense take that next step and be locked down?
That's going to be our X factor this year, Breece Hall.
Right. Would I like to see all that happen? I would. But I also am being very realistic and understanding that that's asking for a lot, right? That's asking for a defense to take a step up. That's asking for a second-year running back coming off of surgery to step up and grow. That's asking for a second-year wide receiver to connect with a veteran quarterback and explode. And that's also asking for a receiving core that really has nothing outside of Garrett Wilson, really, to do well. So it's asking for a lot. Could all those things coalesce and give us what we want? Yes. But I also need to be realistic. I'm a fan. I love the Jets, but I need to live in a realistic world.
Matt?
Disappointing you, Pete. I have us going at least 13-4 or 14-3. I don't think we're losing no games to the Bills. I don't see it happening. I don't.
Not even with the
Damn
cheat
sure
code.
don't see us. I don't even see us. I don't see us. What?
The emotional cheat code is going to be back playing next year, possibly. You don't know.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
DeMar Hamlin.
We ain't losing to the Bills.
Okay, so if we sweep the Bills, you say we beat the Bills, we beat the Cowboys. You saying we sweep the Patriots?
Hell yeah. They don't.
Okay.
They don't have nobody.
They didn't have nobody last year, and they beat you.
We had fucking Zach Wilson.
Okay,
You
so
had the
Matt,
number
you're
one
saying,
defense in the league.
So you're saying in the first 6 weeks, you say we're going 3-3? Because we're going to beat the Bills, beat the Cowboys, beat the Patriots. We're not beating Kansas City. We're not beating the Eagles.
You don't know about that. You don't know that.
When I agree with whoever lived this comment, I think we do. Listen, I always say, even when it comes to the NFC, when it comes to divisional games, you always got to think, for the most part, split, unless the division is really lopsided, right? Like, I don't see the Philadelphia Eagles splitting with the Commanders, right? I don't see that happening, right?
They only split the last time because what's-his-name wasn't playing. He got hurt.
Right. So, okay. We beat the Bills. We beat the Cowboys. We beat the Patriots. We're losing to Kansas City. The Broncos, we don't know what the Broncos are going to be. Right? We don't know what the Broncos are going to be. That's a toss-up, maybe. We're losing to the Eagles.
The only thing I'm not so sure about is Miami. That's the only one.
I feel like not even sure about Miami at this point.
Feel like Kansas City can be beat. I don't know why y'all like, oh, we're not going to beat. No, Kansas City can be beat. They have been beat. It's not beyond the realm of fucking possibility.
It's going to come to the first 8 games. It really is going to come to the first 8 games, because if in the first 8 games we don't, let's say we play the Bills twice in 1, 2, 4, 6. We play the Bills twice in the first 10 weeks, right? So if you look at just weeks 1 to 10, if we could beat the Bills, beat the Patriots, beat the Cowboys, beat the Raiders, beat the Chargers, the teams we're supposed to beat, even if we lose to the Giants, the Eagles, the Chiefs,
they ain't losing,
right? That we're still going, 7-3, But again, it's really going to depend how we respond to those first couple of weeks. How do we play opening week against the Bills? How do we play against the Cowboys on a short week, by the way? That's a key thing. We're playing the Cowboys on a short week. Then we play the Patriots. Then we play the Chiefs. Chiefs, Broncos, Eagles. In my opinion, that 3-game set is probably the most vital for the Jets season.
I think you more hyped on the coach. I don't think the Broncos are that great or that good, especially after what we saw last year. I don't believe that they're that good.
I would like to say I think the Broncos are going to be better. I don't think Russell Wilson is as bad as he was. I don't think Russell Wilson is going to fall off. I don't look at Russell Wilson and see Wile E. Coyote, right? I don't see someone who just fell off the edge of the cliff immediately. I think last year was a very bad year because of the coach. I think if Russell Wilson has a return to form and that Broncos defense stays as good as it was, it's going to be an interesting game to see who's going to be able to really, get the edge.
I got faith in my Jets. I'm telling you now, we're winning the division. And I'm taking bets, Dre. When we win the division, y'all all gotta wear Jets. Y'all all gotta wear Jets jerseys.
I will wait until everybody is present to agree to that. So, because I will not agree for Tay, and then I get cursed out. So I won't be doing that.
Winning the division.
All right, Matt is calling them winning the division.
Coming for you, nigga. That's what we do.
Okay, Matthew. There. Like,
coming for you.
They get it.
Miami's a wash. Yeah.
We spoke about the Chiefs real briefly. Barely. We just someone said they probably won't. Oh no, that's not in here. But are the Chiefs going to be the next Dynasty.
No. Oh. They're beatable.
Yes, but so were the Patriots as well. So that's what I'm saying. Will they be the next dynasty?
No, because, and here's the difference between the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Right.
The Patriots made do with essentially, they were, for lack of a better term, they were the ragtag team for a while, right? They didn't really have a lot of big name stars. They had a lot of guys who just stepped up, next man up. Like, don't get me wrong, they made guys into stars. Teddy Bruschi was made into a star because of how he played on those teams, right? But for the most part, they were kind of, they didn't have a lot of good big name wide receivers. When they got Gronkowski and they got, unfortunately, when they got Hernandez, right, they had some big names, right? But for a long time, the Patriots were a team that did very, very well without a lot of big name stars. And they were also able to keep a lot of their guys in-house because guys agreed to less money to play for that team because they knew how good it was.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Kansas City Chiefs don't have that same luxury, right? I don't think Travis Kelce is going to agree to take less money. Or, Patrick Mahomes already got his contract, right? And we're going to see that as these numbers start to balloon, it's going to become a lot harder to surround Patrick Mahomes with the offensive line, with the defense, and with the receivers that he needs. And at the end of the day, if it's just the Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes show, you're going to see a lot of what we saw in Los Angeles. Sorry, not Los Angeles, in San Diego for a lot of years with the Chargers when you had the Phillip Rivers to Antonio Gates show. They had one of the greatest quarterback to tight end sets in the NFL, but it only got them to a certain point. We saw that out of the old Chiefs too, right? When it was just Tony Gonzalez and
Tony Gonzalez and friends.
Right, Tony Gonzalez and friends, they just were not, it only got them to a certain point. They weren't able to get over that hump. And I think you're going to start to see that unless you get guys like Travis Kelce to say, I'll take less money to stay in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes to restructure those contracts. It's going to be really tough to continuously put talent around them. And I don't know if Kansas City necessarily has the ability to develop young, fresh, inexpensive talent to keep around that team. So I think they're going to be a dynasty in the sense of like they're going to be able to do a lot in a short amount of time. They're going to win a number of championships. They're great. But when you talk about prolonged dynasty, I mean, we went about 10 to 12 years without ever being able to take the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens for a long time out of the playoff conversation. They just the Indianapolis Colts. We just were not ever able to take them out. We knew going into a season that unless a miracle happened in the negative, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Indianapolis, the Patriots were all making the playoffs. That's it. We just knew it. Right?
I think you're forgetting one important cog into your little dynasty thought. They don't have Eric Bieniemy no more. And I don't think Matt Nagy is Eric Bieniemy. So losing your offensive coordinator to the Washington Commanders might throw a little wrench in everybody's Super Bowl hopes for the Chiefs. Granted, Patrick Mahomes is who he is. Andy Reid is who he is. Travis Kelce is who he is. I get that. But the offensive coordinator and that bond that Mahomes and Bieniemy had, now you're talking about another person taking over the reins. You got to develop that chemistry. You got to have that trust. And that's totally different. So I don't see the Chiefs as not being beatable this season. You know what I'm saying?
They have a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah, they got an easy schedule. Again, that chemistry is totally different.
Except for the middle of that schedule. I think there's like a couple of games. They opened the season, their first 3 games of the year. The Lions, the Jaguars, the Bears.
Lions aren't washed.
they're not a pushover, but I still think they're a victory for the Chiefs.
Again, I don't make the Chiefs like they're like this unbeatable force. They're not how they were built a few years back when they had freaking what's his name from that's on the Dolphins right now. I forgot his fucking name. That's how weird I am right now. It's bad. Like I said, I don't really feel like the Chiefs are this unbeatable fucking force. And like Shaq just said, I have questions about their defense too. I don't think their defense is that great. I don't even think they're that good.
No, I think their defense has holes, but they did a lot better last year. Again, when you look at their schedule, they play the Lions, the Jaguars, the Bears in the first 3 weeks. Then they go play the Jets, the Vikings, and the Broncos, Chargers, Broncos again. So being able to get the Broncos out of the way early is helpful. But I think that's their tough side. You got Broncos, Chargers, Broncos, Dolphins, Eagles, right? That 5-game stretch from October 12th to November 20th is going to be the real question about the Chiefs, because after that, you've got the Raiders, the Packers, the Bills, the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers. So they have a pretty easy opening to their schedule, a tough middle, and then they have like a 50-50 end. So the thing is, I could see the Chiefs, and what I think makes the Chiefs dangerous is that they don't have to do too much in the regular season. They don't put a lot of tread on the tires in the regular season, and then they're somewhat fresh going into the postseason, which is what always surprised me about the Green Bay Packers for a long time with Aaron Rodgers. You saw them going 14-2, 13-3, 12-4. They really weren't doing a lot. They were getting a lot of easy wins, but for some reason they had nothing left in the tank in the playoffs. That's why I think there was always questions about like Aaron Rodgers and his ability to win beyond the regular season. That's where the Kansas City Chiefs have been different. They've been able to, especially last year, they learned how to not have to do too much in the regular season and allow that to translate for them to be able to have more tread on the tires in the postseason. And they were able to capitalize on that, you know, and so their schedule is going to give them a lot of help. You know, that's the thing. I think they have a very, very, you know, helpful schedule.
Okay. Get into our last topic. So golf is full of a bunch of hypocrites. Let's say that, right? So sometime, I believe, Pete, correct me if I'm wrong, 2-3 years ago, maybe, that the LIV came into existence. Right?
Yeah, I think about 2 years ago or so. Yeah.
LIV is a golf company that is backed by the Saudi government, which was actually paying golf players what they were worth or what they thought.
Crazy money.
They were getting NBA money, right? Obviously, PGA did not like that because they're the old school. Oh, we're a boys club and everything like that. And it came to a point where PGA golfers were talking crazy about LIV golfers, and then the LIV golfers were just like, listen, we paid, leave us alone. It came to a point where the PGA even stopped some of these golfers who went to do LIV, went to play in LIV they stopped them from playing in tournaments.
Oh, they barred them. So in 2019, yeah. So, the commissioner, Jay Monahan, said that any golfers who played in the LIV would be barred from playing in PGA Tour events. So if you played in the LIV, you couldn't play on the tour.
Right.
Obviously Saudi backed, and it launched in 2021. Like the whole framework for it started in like 2019, but it launched in 2021. And, they played in some, I don't want to say backwoods courses, but they couldn't play on the major courses. They couldn't play on a lot of things, and it was different from the PGA in the sense that it was they had a prize pool at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
So as of Monday, I believe, the PGA and LIV have came together. They have merged, and now they will all play under one roof, which will still actually be the PGA. And the PGA, from what I've been told, is getting the same backing as LIV did now. So, Pete, I gave my thoughts on it. I think the people in the PGA are a whole bunch of hypocrites. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so it's interesting because the PGA Tour had actually been in lawsuit with LIV, antitrust lawsuit. Obviously, this merger now would end all pending litigation. The PGA Tour commissioner did acknowledge straight out that he would be considered a hypocrite, right? He's like, I accept all the backlash. Essentially, the merger would combine the PGA Tour and LIV Golf's commercial businesses and rights into a new for-profit company, which will also include the PGA European Tour, also known as the DP World Tour. So essentially, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia is now going to invest billions of dollars into the new for-profit company that is going to happen. And a lot of people are comparing this to, the merger of Endeavor and WWE, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got all this stuff and now this is happening.
Right.
But yeah, it's basically deal talk started about 7 weeks before the announcement was made. But here's the funny thing. PGA golfers didn't know anything about it until the day it was announced.
Which is nuts, right? Like,
nobody knew that conversations were happening. Nobody knew that there was any deals being talked about. There were golfers that learned about the merger when the news broke on Twitter. Like, imagine working at a job. Like, you work for an airline company, Dre. Imagine going to sleep knowing that your company is owned by company X and waking up in the morning and going on Twitter to find out that
American Airlines and JetBlue are merged. Like, wait, what?
Right. And when you walk in, you're walking into a meeting. It's like, yeah, this is what's happening. Right. So it's interesting there, right? And you had a lot of players who really held a lot of, were very upset, right? And a lot of players who were lured away with big money. I mean, former world number one player in the world, Dustin Johnson, who won 2 major championships on the PGA Tour, was paid $150 million to leave the PGA Tour and play LIV golf, right? And it's different. In the PGA, you have your endorsements. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where you make your money. And then when you win tournaments or your placement in tournaments is how you win money, right? A lot of these guys were going to LIV because they were being guaranteed like a salary, right? It's like, hey, we'll pay you $150 million to play our golf, right? And a lot of their endorsements, like if they were able to keep their endorsements, like a lot of the guys were like, why wouldn't I go?
Right.
But for the last year and a half, 2 years, you had PGA golfers who were forced to resign from the PGA to go play LIV because they were told, well, if you go play LIV, you can't play in the PGA ever again. Right? So there was this whole hubbub about that. And then you had antitrust lawsuits in court.
Yep.
And now it's just like, oh, we're going to merge. But now it's okay because we're going to get the money. Because now, guess what? All of the players that were paid to play on LIV, they got that money, right? They got that money by signing on. Mm-hmm. But now the PGA goes back to business as usual. Oh, we're not paying you to play on the PGA Tour. No. You're just a part of the Professional Golf Association, and you play in the events. And if you make a certain rank or you win the event, you win money. But we're not giving you money now to play for the PGA. Now we're getting the money.
It's ridiculous because now the people who jump ship are probably at this point like, I got my money, I'm cool because I can make that rank.
You to get the bag, but if we get the bag, it's fine.
Right, that's some NCAA shit right there.
So give us the bag.
Right, give us the bag, pay us, but no. We're not gonna pay you guys. No,
right. Clearly,
like. It's a big business thing. Like at the end of the day, like you're gonna. I'm not saying golf players need to get NBA money because some of these people were getting NBA money, but damn, like they're athletes at the end of the day. No matter how you see golf is a sport. In order to do a sport, you have to be an athlete. And athletes deserve to get paid for their services. They also don't deserve to get paid pennies, but they shouldn't. I think LIV, because of where the money came from, we're just throwing the money at people.
Oh, here we go. Some news just broke.
Oh, God.
Golfers who remained loyal to the PGA Tour, not those who left to play for the LIV Golf League, will receive equity shares in the new for-profit company being formed by the PGA DP in Saudi Arabia. So the new PGA Tour Policy Board member, Jimmy Dunn, said that current tour members who stayed loyal to the tour will receive equity in the new company based on a yet-to-be-determined formula. Several top
yet to be determined.
Reportedly turned down guaranteed contracts worth as much as $100 million from LIV Golf League officials. Yep. The players who left the PGA Tour for the LIV Golf League will not be able to participate in the new company's equity plan. Yep.
You can't make this shit up, can you? Right? You just can't.
It's like, yo, and a couple of players like Bryson DeChambeau and players like that were like, their statements were like, the players that did go over, we took a risk, and there was a reason for taking that risk relative to the capital that had to be paid out for that to occur. I feel bad for PGA Tour players because they were told one thing and something else happened. On our side, we were told one thing and it's actually come to fruition.
They knew. See, that's the thing. The LIV players already knew, like, listen, it's only a matter of time. So come get your bread. Because if you don't, you're going to get dicked. And these players still, regardless of whatever anybody's saying, the people who went to LIV are better off than the damn people getting equity in a company. And it's not like getting points on an album where, that turns into something one day.
And it's not over yet. According to these same people, if the LIV Golf Leagues folds, okay, because they're merging, but the LIV Golf League still going to be doing their thing. If the LIV Golf League folds, a committee that includes current PGA Tour members and administrators would determine potential punishment for players who left for the LIV Golf League but want to apply for reinstatement to the PGA Tour. I think we would form a panel, including tour players, that evaluate what the terms would be. Remember, they're coming back to compete on tour, so they have to be confident that they would be good enough to continue to play, and they have to be willing to incur the penalty for having left. Sources have told ESPN that the punishment would probably be considered on a case-by-case basis, and the 11 LIV golf players who sued the PGA Tour in federal court might get stiffer penalties than those who didn't, and players who actively recruited PGA Tour members could also be hit hard. So it's like, hey, we're gonna merge. Y'all can do. We're all under one umbrella now. And by the way, if you want to come play on the PGA Tour, we're still gonna spank you on the back because we're still gonna spank you on the behind because you went and got your bread.
That's stupid, bro. That's so dumb. Like,
welcome to golf, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to golf. This is literally the most we will ever talk about golf because this is bullshit, bro.
This is the most golf can get.
Right. This is golfing at its damn finest, bro. And it's so off the field. It's so just it doesn't.
It's like imagine an NBA player leaving the NBA to go play in the 3-on-3 league.
And then getting fined to come back because, oh, well, you left us. No, I was a free agent.
Right.
Or, well, I left the NBA because
I wasn't getting signed anywhere.
I wasn't getting signed anywhere. I got signed to play 3-on-3 over the summer. I'm getting mid-level money to play 3-on-3 over the summer.
And you don't see this for players going to China, going to the Euro League, right? If an NBA player goes to China to go play for the China League and then comes back because they started doing well in the China League, what does the NBA do? Yo, we'll sign you to a contract. We want to bring you back.
Right. We'll bring you back. Just, we'll work on the money under the table so you get bought out by the other team. But, like, it's just so stupid. It's asinine. Like,
really, it's
how, bro? But I'm sure more news will come out. And me and you will probably discuss this in the middle of the week at some point because I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming up. But yes, what an episode. I know it went long, but I really don't care. But,
first episode back, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, first episode back was great. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Queen. Shout out to BK Matt. Shout out to you, Pete. Shout out to myself. It's been a bit of a journey to get back here, but the show, like I said, the show will be every other week. We will have stuff in between. I'm working with Peter to get a couple things jumping with him. Just look out for something. We are wrestling in Yerrr Sports Show together.
We'll have an announcement about the return, by the way. We got an announcement coming up about the return.
Yes. Maybe we can coincide that announcement with the show you're about to be handed.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, but shout outs to, of course, the network, Job Test Network, Job Test Podcast, Zone Talk, 2.5 Bros. Zone Talk and 2.5 Bros, which will both be back soon. Shout out to the Job Test Podcast, and all over doing everything. Again, shout out to us at the Yerrr Sports Show. We're back. We're better. We're really just getting started. And when I say we have more content coming, we do have more content coming. And if you know anybody who should be a guest, recommend them to our show. If you want to be a guest on the show, come on the show. We're welcoming everything with arms wide open like Creed. So, listen, just let me know. Oh, shout outs to Mr. Joakim Morales. It was his birthday today.
Hey!
Between shouts to him for on my behalf, for him just giving me a chance to have a voice in something I never thought I would have a voice in. And I appreciate that. And it's also helped me because I have to shout out to you too for also giving me a voice in something I never thought I would have a voice in, and be a part of things I never thought I'd be a part of, being in conversations, being in rooms with people that I could only imagine being in at some point in time. So I want to give my flowers to not just Joakim Morales on his birthday, but flowers to you too as well, Pete. So I appreciate you.
Big things for Joakim. I mean, he's done a lot, man. I remember when Battle Club first started, right? Joakim was doing commentary for Battle Club. He was obviously an integral part of it. Carlos and his team were running that. I remember when they started in the Bronx. And what Joakim has what Joe Kim took, what he inherited and what he got from Carlos, and he was told, hey, take this and run with it. And he's definitely done that. And he's done that in such a great way, right? He, the way that Battle Club has grown to now not just being one of the premier indie products in New York, but to also have the Fallout Shelter, the school as well, doing big things there. By the way, pay attention to the reconstruction. If you peep that one on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
If you know the doors. If you know, right?
Well, man, I was watching. I'm like, damn, I'm about to message him. Like, yo, you took the long way, right?
Right.
Like, I was about to hit. I was about to hit him up. Be like, yo, you took the long way. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
it's good content. But you took the long way.
He's done such great things with what he's been doing and what he's been able to do with not only Battle Club Pro, but also the Fallout Shelter and the things that he's looking to do. And you see that influence. I will be the first one to admit that a lot of what I do with We Are Wrestling is very much inspired by what I saw happening with Battle Club Pro and the growth that you see. It's very hard to look at the New York City and the tri-state area independent scene and say, what, we're going to go out there and we're going to, for lack of a better term, compete with that. And we're going to build something here. When you're looking at places like House of Glory, when you're looking at the legacy of Jersey All Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Pro, Creator Pro, all these different places. And yet to say, I'm going to do this, and to not only do it, but to do it at a high level and to do it for as long as they've done it. It's really great. Shout out to Joe Kim, and a big personal shout out, Joe Kim, as well, to the rest of our team as well. Yep. When my mother passed away, Joe Kim, one of the first people there for me, send his condolences, really be there for me and stuff like that. And happy birthday to the man, and hopefully a lot more birthdays to come.
Absolutely. But as I said, a lot more coming from the Yerrr Sports Show. We'll have some episodes of Brooklyn Bullshit. Tavia is going to give us some tea time, whether she like it or not. We have things coming from both Matt and Pete and myself as well. You'll see more social media engagement. And again, if anybody wants to be on, wants to do anything, we're open for everything. Our bookings are open for sure. Shout out to Prolific, who are two of the five of us. Yes, I say five because I became an official member of Prolific during our off season here. But Ruthless Lala and the American Gangster Isaiah Wolf out overseas for CZW.
Killing it right now.
Killing it during the excursion. They're doing big things. Tyree Taylor has some killing it in the Wrestling Open. Just, we all got some big things coming up. I have a sneaky suspicion that you will hear something about Jobber Slam coming up within a week or so. Just know that Jobber Tier South, after this, we're done. We're done after this. No more. It's over. Like, we're done after this. But again, for BK Matt, for the Queen Tay, for the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado, it is your boy, Big Baby. So, wait, hold on. I also meant to shout out Backstage Brawl, but I guess I forgot for a specific reason. Because we have some hate in here. You know what? Shouts to one half of the Backstage Brawl.
Wow!
Shouts to Grizz. Shouts to E, because E's not a hater. Shouts to the rest of the shop as well. Stan Michaels, True King of R&B, and Mr. Michael Bostic. And but not Randy. Not Randy.
Wow.
He can go straight to hell.
Wow.
But it is your boy, Big Baby, signing off. Peace.
Joe Kicks MVP.
Fuck you, Randy.